Something that students usually have a difficult time with is being able to create a good graph title. A graph title should tell the reader exactly what the experiment was about without them having to go through and read the entire experiment. There's a really easy way to create graph title, and all that is doing is combining your x and your y axis label. Okay, so for here, let's just pretend that we already labeled our thing. We know that this is going to be a line graph because we were dealing with time, right? So our time would be down here, and then our glucose level would be on the y-axis. Okay, a really easy way to make a graph title is just combine whatever the x or whatever the y and the x-axis talks about. There's no one correct way to do this. There are multiple graph titles that could be chosen. It just depends on how you phrase it. A terrible graph title might be this right here, right? No. That's something that Mr. Calgary, had made when I was making this graph. That doesn't tell my reader what the graph is about whatsoever, right? So let's take a look at our data set. Our data set is here. Okay, so we're dealing with time after eating and the glucose level in blood. Something a very easy way that we can make a title is something along the lines of glucose level after time eating. Something like that. It could be something easy like how eating affects the level of glucose in a person's blood. That's also acceptable. Again, there's no one correct answer. There are multiple correct answers as long as it describes both the x and the y axis. Taking a look at another example, if we are looking at here, okay, if we're looking at number of days and bacteria, right? A simple one that we could title this graph could be relationship between days and number of bacteria. Again, something that's very easy to do is just put your x in relationship to your y. Let's do a final example just real quick. If we're looking at a data set that might be here, right, we're looking at the type of water and we're looking at the number of tadpoles. Again, here's going to be what you're measuring. So this is going to be your y-axis, and here's going to be your x-axis. Something that we could do for our title might be type of water in relation to the number of tadpoles. Again, that gives the reader an idea of what the graph is about and will allow them to make their own conclusions.